Yo guys, the fucking sleigh train is in town, and before we start this video, if you want some free shit, then drop into the Division between the 23rd and the 31st of December to claim your free green and red beanie from the rewards claim vendor. Hashtag massive know how to do incentives. Let's talk about 1.6. So people, after watching today's State of the Game, I thought I'd do a video discussing with you what I want to see from 1.6, and ultimately I want to get your feedback in the comments below. You know, this is kind of an open dialogue, there is no right or wrong answers, and if you like the suggestions that I'm bringing to the video, then please don't forget to thumbs up the video. I'll just start from top to bottom, in no particular order, of all the ideas that I've come up with here, or at least I've seen. So the first one is lobbies scaled to team size. Now I think this is a real important one. As you're probably aware, 1.6 is primarily to fix the PvP aspect of the game, and ultimately this will have a massive effect on the Dark Zone. Now what I want to see is lobbies scaled to team size. So for example, if you're in a team of 3 or 4, then you can only go in a 3 or 4 category lobby in the Dark Zone. Now if you're in a team of 1 or 2, then you go into a 1 or 2 sort of Dark Zone, and I think there should only be 2 Dark Zones, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Ultimately, if you're in the 2 and someone joins your team, then you obviously matchmake to go into, you know, a server with 3 or 4 in, because you've now got 3 in your team, and I think that can work, and that's just one of many ideas I've got here, guys. I also think they should probably include something like a prestige in the Dark Zone. Now, I'm currently capped at 99, as a lot of friends that I know are, and there's no real rewards for actually going up those levels. So I think there should be some sort of reward basis. You know, you get to level 20, that's prestige 1. You get to level 20 again, that's prestige 2, and you get rewards for doing that. And that ultimately it can you can get sort of fair play then, because people will want to kill bosses to get that XP, they'll want to get loot, they'll want to get stuff out to get XP, and they'll want to get those rewards from that prestige. Again, just another idea here, guys. Another thing that I want to add is unlimited recalibration of named gear. Now, I think this is a real important one. At the moment, named gear drops at a very low rate. We're looking at sort of 0.3 to 1%, which is really low, and I don't mind that. I've grinded out Lexington so many times. I still don't have Barrett's chest piece, but I know when I get it, I'm going to be really happy, and I like the idea of having something that's you really have to grind for, to be honest. Really happy with that. However, I know that when I get it, it's going to be a really bad roll, and if I can only recalibrate one thing, then I'm in trouble. So you can put hundreds of hours to get one item, and then it could be a bad roll. I don't think that's fair. I think unlimited recalibration of name gear should be a thing. Another thing I want to add is I believe there should be more open world bosses, or LZ bosses. At the moment, I think there's only about 13, and I don't think that's enough. And you know, when you're going around and you're destroying the open world bosses, I love the atmosphere. I love seeing parts of the map we haven't seen for a very long time, and it would be nice to do that more often. So if there's more bosses with the same sort of timer, then that would be great. Sort of going on from that, what I would like to see is actually loot crates in the LZ. So it's just some random loot crates that spawn every 4 hours in not the same location, but in random locations, and then you can go there and see if it's there. If it's not there, you go to the next one, it might be there, you get the loot. I think that's a really cool idea, and it's kind of the idea I've taken from Destiny, where in the open world you can go and get materials and whatnot. Probably with this one you'll get maybe materials as well as like sealed caches or gear. I think sealed caches would be better, to be honest, guys. Going back to the Dark Zone, I think that if you're team a rogue and you're in a certain vicinity of that player whilst they're rogue and you're not, you should go rogue, because a lot of the times you'll go to a team of rogues, there's only 3 on the team, there'll be you as a team of 3, you go start shooting them, then somebody starts shooting you from behind and you've got no chance, because that player is actually part of that team of rogues, but he wasn't in the vicinity when they went rogue, and I don't think that's fair. I think if they're in the vicinity of those rogues, they should also go rogue, even if they weren't initially there when that team went rogue. I hope that makes sense. It kind of does to me. Regarding NPCs, I know it's still a big problem. I believe they need to reduce the NPC accuracy. At the moment, you're still getting shotgun from the other side of the map, sniped before you can even see a sniper, and enemy aim is literally they don't miss, and it's stupid. It's not realistic, and the Division is meant to be a realistic game. So yeah, really not happy with that, to be honest, guys. Also, another great idea here, guys. We currently have the firing range, which is kind of broke, but why can't we have like a spa room or something where you go in with another player, you both log in, and you can use your gear sets on the other player. Obviously, you don't go rogue. It's kind of just like a free area where you can test out your gear. Because at the moment, the firing range doesn't do that. You have to go into the Dark Zone, then you go rogue, and blah, 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 blah. It'd be nice to have a room where there's sort of you know, that you don't lose anything for losing a battle, and you just fight against, you know, your mates to test out your gear and what set you have, and maybe you can have a set of 4 against a set of 4, and then you can see how like a, you know, the gear set you're using benefits your team, and you know, that sort of thing. I think that would be a really good idea. And also DZ events, guys, going back to the Dark Zone. So I think there should be events in the Dark Zone. For example, like, you know, hunters coming or something. You know, every 10 minutes hunters spawn into the map, and you got to go after them, much like the supply drops at the moment, but something different. You know, hunters come and hunt you down, so you have to actually fight them, and they come after you. I think that'd be a really good idea. Or maybe like there's a crash event, like a helicopter, or I don't know, whatever. One of the buildings falls down. You got to go in there. You got to extract someone, and if you go, you know, you can be rogue and go in there, and you can kill everyone, including the players. And I don't know if there's some guy, you got to kill them, and you get rewarded, or just some dynamic to the game. And that kind of leads me on to the next point regarding the use of towers. Now, at the moment, the game is obviously built, I believe it's in New York, but you don't actually get to use any of the bloody towers, which I think is stupid. So, kind of going on with missions, I think they need to expand the missions or the storyline, which I think they will do, and there needs to be use of the actual buildings, the towers, you know, the scaling. There could be so much more added to this game. At the moment, it's just kind of on one level, it's kind of on the ground floor, and it's, you know, there's no sort of, it's not good, in my opinion. It needs to go upwards, you know, it needs to go as vertical as possible. There's big towers, you want it to fall, or you have to go in it and clamber, and, you know, you can just imagine the immersement. Well, that's kind of my ideas, guys. I realise that's not all of them. I'd be here forever if I had loads, but that's just some just sort of rolling off my head, or my paper. So let me know in the description below what you want to see added to the game, guys, in 1.6. As you're probably aware, they're at stage 2 of the ETF, so players are still being added, and the ETF will be live soon, I imagine, in the new year. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.